Hi, I'm Karl Griggs, co-founder and director of CPC Finance, and today we're here with Sanjay, Kumar, Malkit, Purewal, Savoy Properties. Please tell us about yourselves.
Hi there, Malkit Purewal here, part co-founder of Savoy's Properties. We've been in the property business for the last 20 years and developing properties for the last 10 years.
Just to confirm with you guys, it was purchased 2 weeks ago today?
2 weeks ago, yep, absolutely.
And it was originally just an office.
That's correct.
Okay, if you can fire away with a history of it, we'll...
This is an office, I think, being used as a B1A during that period. Up until COVID, it was always fully let, and as a result of COVID, it's the occupants handed their notice and left. The previous vendor, was unable to re-let it, so it made sense to be repurposed as residential use.
Right, so you started negotiating on it last year.
That's right.
And eventually settled on 190,000?
190,000, yeah.
What was the intention with it?
So the intention was always to repurpose this from a commercial office to 2 residential flats, one bedroom flat on the ground floor. The upper parts, so the second floor and the loft space, is going to be incorporated into one self-contained flat.
Since locating the property,
Yep.
What work and background have you done?
So before we purchased it, we put an application for converting it from commercial to residential. We had the time frame because we exchanged, and between the exchange and completion, we had that time, so we used it to get it approved. We also, obviously, to do that, we had the architect come in here and just had the builders come in here to work out what needed to be done and the time frame and costs.
So is that one of the things you always look for?
Absolutely. We always encourage that if you have time between exchange and completion, you should use it for planning applications, etc. So it saves you time. So now, as you know, we've had it for 2 weeks and you can see the amount of work we've done. We could complete and just start the works.
Is that something that you work closely with your solicitors for, i.e. the time frames, so that you know that you're ready to go the day you buy it?
Yeah, so we just make sure that the dates work before we complete, so our builders can come on site as soon as we complete and start the work.
One of the points I've noticed the most is just above us. You've dropped the ceiling from the loft.
That's right. So we try to maximise head height usable space within the loft. So we've dropped it down, I think around about 10 inches, which is now going to be used for a bedroom.
What's the costs for the conversion?
So at the moment we're sort of guiding between sort of 60 to 70,000 pounds.
And I noticed that the valuer has already given you an
Yep.
estimated GDV value.
That's correct.
Of around 380,000.
Absolutely.
So based on these figures, you're going to get all your money back out.
Yep, that's the idea.
And the rent, 10,000 a year for each flat?
Yeah, it should be around that mark.
That's what he's indicated.
Yeah.
Yep, no, that's the market
so
rate.
it'll be self-funding itself, you get all your money out and just move on.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is good. So you agreed a purchase price of...
190,000.
And when we discussed it, we decided to go down the short-term bridging route.
That's right.
70% of the purchase price. And we went to a lender that used the same valuer, and we'll switch it to them on a term facility, so that you know that whatever happens, you're getting a valuation of 380,000, and you'll be able to take a 75% term facility out as soon as the project's finished.
That's correct.
Now, the other timescales. So you've owned it for 2 weeks.
Yep.
You've gutted it.
You can see the work's already started.
Pretty well.
Partitioning it, yep.
When do you expect it to be finished?
We're looking around about 6 weeks to a maximum of 8.
Completed in total.
So that would be sort of end of May.
Yep, that's right.
And then get the valuer back in, get it revalued, refinanced from the short-term loan to the term, and move on, get it rented out.
Absolutely.
So a perfect B.R.R.R.
Yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
I did notice because this is the first time I've been to it, that one of the big selling points is obviously, because it's an office, you've got parking spaces.
It's gated as well, as you can see, it's got gated as well.
Gated security, and we both spent 5-10 minutes trying to find a parking space.
Yeah, so it ticks all the boxes.
So when we intend to come back and refilm once it's finished,
Yep.
By which time we will have had it revalued, do you think it will value at more than the 380?
We hope so. I mean, if you had Malkit this morning when we were on site speaking to the builders, we're going to change the layouts of the inside as well. So the kitchen was going to be open plan, but now we're going to have a separate entrance for it. The bathroom's the same. So yeah, that should all add value.
So as you've come along from purchasing it, you have changed the original plans. So you are happy then when we go back to it to pay for a new valuation rather than a re-inspection to increase the value?
Absolutely. It always happens on site. As soon as you purchase something, your architect comes in and says, right, we can have it this way in the layout, however he sort of proposes. But once you actually start the building works, things tend to change.
Right. So going back to the hot topic of the buy, refurb, refinance and rent out, this is a perfect example of that.
Absolutely. I mean, we're going to get, for example, no money down deal by the end of it. If anything, we may even get a bit of cash back, so it's perfect.
And a quick turnaround.
Which is I think...
By having your team ready to go, having it all organised.
I think it helps as well by getting that valuation report at the start because, I think we've covered this so many times, but it helps because you know where your numbers stack up and where you're at the end of it.
That is correct, but I rephased the B.R.R. I call it bridging to refurb, to rent, to refinance, because you are using the bridging or the short-term loan or whatever way they call it now in the correct manner to get the advantage of the uplift as quickly as possible, not waiting 6 months, not doing a buy-to-let, or in this particular case, not doing a commercial investment at a lot higher rate.
I completely agree. Look, this is where bridging comes into its own. We're in. Hopefully we'll exit within 3 months, maybe 3.5 months, and it's justifiable paying those costs.
But then that's experience of having the right broker,
definitely,
with the right mortgage facility, but also the right solicitors, and the main important thing, which I'm impressed with how quickly it's gone along, the team ready to come in, everything lined up to go from the day you collect the key.
Yeah, we were prepared before we even, finalised the sale. Just had the team ready, they knew the plans, everything was ready, so we were just waiting to complete. Once it's complete, the work started next day. So it was, we were well prepared with it. But going back to what you were saying about the bridging, it's the right product because you get so many people out there who break the terms and you end up saving the money because you don't have to do the valuations again and go to a different lender, do the legals again. You don't have to do all that. It's just with the same bank, so it helps.
Okay. One and also being very hands-on with the work, because even when we've been here today, you've been discussing changes with the builders. But obviously, if you're working or you're doing, it's too far away, the project, then you're not going to have that availability either.
Absolutely.
I think it makes sense for us because we always like to turn up, and when you see partitions going up, you can envision how it's all going to look, and sometimes the architect's plans probably need amending, and in this instance we just repurposed it so it'll be more user-friendly for that occupant, which benefits us because they'll end up staying longer, which makes it more profitable for us.
Right. Just to summarise then, paid 190, we've already got a valuer confirming that you're going to double your money at the end.
Yep.
And it's going to be between a 6 to 8 week turnaround.
Yep, absolutely.
And then it'll be rented out and moved on.
That's it, yep.
Good. Well, hopefully when we come back next time, we'll see it all finished and
definitely,
and the figures all stacked up, if not higher.
Perfect, yeah, hope so.
Thanks for your time today.
Thanks for having us.
Look out for us on social media and continue the journey when we come back to visit the property.